If Jason Tatum was healthy, I'd still like the Knicks more than the Celtics. You know why? Because they beat them.
The fact that they have Jason Tatum, who's the best player between both teams, I think that's a big, huge swing for them. And we have to see how he comes back from the Achilles, but I think he will come back still a great player and a top 10 player in the league.
We're in the certain time frame of the NBA where it doesn't matter about your big three or big two. It matters with the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and ninth player on the roster.
Yeah, if
when
you
I look
have
at the
a
Knicks,
star,
they have an advantage at the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and ninth player on the Celtics roster right now. And the fact that you have the Celtics above the Knicks is utterly ridiculous to me.
That's for 1 year.
They're going to be a play-in team next year. We don't know what they're doing in free agency. Did you see this year's free agency?
This is what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of a Boston Celtics team that is going to be bad this year. I've said it. They're going to be really bad. They're going to get a top 5 pick. Mark my words, come back to this when I'm right. They're getting a top 5 pick. They're adding a top 5 prospect to Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Derek White. They're going to make a move for a center because that's what Brad Stevens does. Anthony Simons won't be on the team in the next 3 years. Because of this reset year, the Celtics are in a great position for the future.
This is all based on unproven information. So Boston relying on a top 5 pick to solve their issues is not something I would want to do if I'm Brad Stevens and Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are in the middle of their career. VJ Edgecombe was the number 3 overall pick this year. I think if you add that to Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown by itself, that's not enough.
Well, I think that they wouldn't have drafted him. I think that if they had the 5th or 6th overall pick, they would have drafted Kamen Modlewatch. And you add that big monster to this.
Did you watch him
team.
during Summer League?
You watched that big monster with this team?
Did you watch him in the Summer League? You were there. I was there. Did you watch him there? Were you impressed? I remember this conversation. The Knicks are in a better position than the Boston Celtics, and it's not even close of the next 3 years. It's not
this upcoming season for sure. I don't know about the next 2, 3.
The next 3 years.
The next 2 probably. In that third year, I don't know. That third year, I mean, I think you're sleeping on what the Celtics and Brad Stevens can do.
And it's not even the by far better supporting cast and better position they're in. It's the fact that Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns don't have to come back from an Achilles injury.
Yeah, sure. That's great. But also it's Karl-Anthony Towns' defensive liabilities in the playoffs. I mean, it's the fit of Brunson and Cat that isn't a seamless fit to begin with right now. So there's a lot of things that, you know, when your 2 stars
it's the fact that they beat the Celtics too. That's what nobody wants to act like they beat the Celtics at full strength last year. That happened. Okay. I don't care if it was a 20-point lead. It was with lesser coaching and it still happened.
So in 2023, when the Miami Heat beat the Celtics in the conference finals, you would have argued they have a better future because they beat them in the playoffs.
No, everybody knew that team was backpacked by Jimmy Butler. This Knicks team had a 10 times better lineup than the Miami Heat. Those Miami Heat players got paid elsewhere, and we have not heard their names since. Any of those Knicks players get paid elsewhere, we would hear Mikal Bridges' name. We would hear OG Anunoby's name. We would hear Mitchell Robinson's name.
So you would have argued last year the Mavericks have a better future than OKC because they beat them in the playoffs if Luka stayed.
Would you have not?
No, the OKC definitely still would have had a better future.
Okay, yeah, it's a younger team. We're talking about a Celtics team that is older than OKC. You're trying to make all these apple-to-apple comparisons, and there is no apple-to-apple comparison.
No, I'm saying the logic.
OKC was at the beginning of their run.
I'm saying the logic of saying just because they beat them in the playoffs, that's why they have the better future, I think is flawed. I think
that's not what I'm saying either. There's coming off an injury. It's a better supporting cast. There's 3 different reasons why I feel this way.
I mean, the better supporting cast to a degree, Jaylen Brown and Cat cancel each other out. Derek White versus OG or Mikal, that's a literal debate. And then Jason Tatum or Brunson maybe now because of the injury, but still you can lean Tatum. I mean, it's not that much crazy of a different supporting cast, especially if the Celtics get a lottery pick. I mean, yeah, we're talking about a supporting cast that is really good for Boston. And are they just not going to get nothing back for Simons if they decide to trade him? Like, I don't know. Like Brad Stevens, he got Porzingis for nothing. He got Derek White for nothing. Like we also are just glossing over the fact that Brad Stevens is not going to leave this roster the way it is. He's clearly going to make moves.
But Joel, it was a different position. The Kristaps, nobody knew they wanted to move off Marcus Smart when they did. Everyone in the league knows they want to get rid of Anthony Simon. So what are they going to give up to get him? And by the way, we've already seen the Trailblazers.
What I'm saying is that the Celtics and Brad Stevens has shown that he can do things before.
That's fair.
So I'm trusting his expertise and what he can do to build a championship contender roster. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
So from 2025 to 2028, we can both concede that 2025 and 2026, the season belongs to the Knicks. So if you're telling me
2025, yes, I can say that.
Okay.
This year, yes, I can say that.
If we're talking about the 2 seasons after that, that would mean the Knicks would only have to be better in one of those 2 seasons, and I could 100% see that happening.
Okay, yes. What teams did you have above the Celtics? Let me hear them again.
It's the Detroit Pistons. It was your San Antonio Spurs. It's the Dallas Mavericks. It's the Lakers.
Okay.
It's the Timberwolves.
So the Spurs, you will have more success than the Celtics over the next 3 years.
I just think they're a safer bet. I don't know what the Celtics are doing next summer because free agency has been dead. And if they're putting all their eggs in that basket to save the Tatum and Brown prime, I don't think that's the way to go about it. The Pistons 100% because of their youth, and Cade Cunningham's not coming off an Achilles injury, and they already have a team that is built on playoff success. I don't know who the starting center is for Boston. Luka Garza is starting for them. Anthony Simon right now is starting for them.
This is an obvious rebuild year, though. This is an obvious rebuild year. We know that. We know that.
Yeah, what we don't know is who's going to be on this roster in 2 seasons. I don't know that, so I just put them at 15.
What we do know is they have Jaylen Brown, Tatum, and Derek White.
I came on here not expecting to talk about the Celtics at all. I came on here not expecting to talk about them because I literally have no idea what they're going to be. This is a team that I would like the LA Clippers. I would want them out of this list because I don't know.
Is Tatum, Brown, and Derek White a championship core?
Yeah, not with Luka, Garza, and Anthony Simon.
Okay, but can those three surrounding them around players that a championship core?
Surrounding them around who?
Surrounding them around good players that a championship core.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, but Luka, Garza, Georges Niang, and Anthony Simons ain't that core, bro.
Yeah, but they're not surrounding them around him this year because Tatum is not playing.
Okay.
So
and that's one of these 3 years in these rankings.